I bet you know his songs. Just got his 28th #1 hit, but you probably don't even know his name. Not his real one anyway. We can't be friends, yes. And I shake it off. Now we got problems, and I don't think we can solve them. I can't stop them. Nothing I can see but you when you dance. These were all written or co-written by Max Martin. And in honor of the fate of Ophelia reaching #1, we're going to dive into his story. Like most millennials, I fell in love with Max Martin's music through the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, and Ariana Grande. What I didn't know was that he never set out to be the king of pop. Carl Martin Sandburg started in a glam metal band. It's Alive.
We thought we may have accidentally be working with Metallica, possibly.
Under the name Martin White, he dropped out of high school to pursue music full-time. It's Alive released 2 albums and toured across Scandinavia and Europe. Their second album, Earthquake Visions, sold a disappointing 30,000 copies. Carl Sandburg faced the reality that fronting a rock band may not be for him. His band wasn't taking off, but he loved the music, not the spotlight. Fortunately, Swedish DJ producer Dennis Pop heard one of Carl's songs while working on a remix. The remix never happened, but Dennis recognized Carl's talent, so Dennis invited him to work at Cheiron Studios in Stockholm.
Han sa att han behövde någon som kunde spela lite ackord och sådär, vilket han hade fått för sig att jag kunde. Och så började vi då, vilket var en helt sjuk grej faktiskt. Det förändrade ju allting för mig. Alltså inte bara att han ens såg mig och tog upp mig in i sin värld. Det förändrade hela mitt liv. Jag hade ju aldrig suttit här och pratat med dig idag. Om inte vore för honom.
Carl accepted. In 1993, he joined Cheiron as an apprentice. He began learning every part of how a pop record was made, writing, tracking, producing, and mixing. His first credit came on Redneck's Wish You Were Here, co-produced by Dennis. Wish you were here. Don't you know the story's getting colder? At that point, the name Max Martin was first used as a producer alias. But Carl wasn't even aware of it, which is wild. Carl had never used the name himself. He went by Martin Sandburg in the studio, but the Cheiron team routinely used pseudonyms for brand clarity across collaborations, and Max Martin sounded more international than Carl Martin Sandburg. Still, I can't imagine having an alias created for me without my knowledge. But when Sandburg learned that Max Martin had been printed on the release, he decided to keep it as his professional name.
Well, my name is Dennis Pop. This here is Max Martin, and we're one of the producer crews behind Ace of Base.
Max studied every detail of how songs worked. The structure, the hook, the emotion. By 1995, his hit songs were on the radio. Show Me Love and Do You Know What It Takes by Robin became international hits. Soon after, Max started producing for the Backstreet Boys. This is where I first discovered Max.
Max, you truly are the heart and soul of the Backstreet Boys. It's because of you that we are here today. And I truly call you the honorary 6th member of the Backstreet Boys.
Quit Playing Games With My Heart.
Quit playing games with my heart.
And As Long As You Love Me.
Care what you did, as long as you love me.
Made him one of pop's main architects.
The whole birth of Backstreet Boys, our sound, I think even kind of helping us find ourselves within our image, within whatever encompassed the Backstreet Boys was Max and Dennis.
Then came Britney Spears' Baby One More Time. Released in 1998, it hit #1 in over 20 countries and sold more than 10 million copies. It set the template for late 90s pop. Big melody, clean production, short intros. Max's intros averaged just 9 seconds. Despite all this success, Max still dealt with fear of failure.
And so you never know, the mystery of creativity, as we all know, appears in very different ways.
It pushed him to make every song the best it could possibly be. He gave excessive attention to detail. Every sound was tight, every beat was perfect. He notoriously pulled the best vocals out of artists.
If you were singing it like off, or you were singing in your own rhythm, in your own way,
It was always on top.
yeah, Max would say, no, do it again. Right here, right here.
But in August of 1998, Dennis Pop died of stomach cancer at just 35. Max lost his mentor and closest collaborator. He kept Sharon going, producing I Want It That Way, Oops, I Did It Again, and That's the Way It Is. The hits kept coming, but so did the pressure. Behind the success was self-doubt. His insecurity drove him to overanalyze,
Very specific when it comes to vocals, and a bit of a taskmaster. You know, I'll have to do it sometimes more than I think we have it, and he'll just get me into a place where I'm singing from the heart. I'm not in my head about it.
and be perfectionistic about every song.
He's a perfectionist, which I totally respect, and I look up to that. So being with him is kind of hard because I'm always scared that I may do something wrong.
At the same time, the growing attention made him uncomfortable. Fame was not something he wanted. He preferred to stay invisible and let the work speak for itself. By 2000, still at the top of the charts, he and his team decided to close Sharon. For Max, it was both an ending and a reset. In 2001, Max and former Sharon manager Tom Taloma opened Maratone Studios in Stockholm. Max focused on the music while Tom handled the business. He worked with Kelly Clarkson,
But since you've been gone,
Pink,
you said forever and ever. Who knew?
Katy Perry,
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
and later Taylor Swift,
We never go out of style. We never go out of style.
and The Weeknd.
Blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep in it tonight.
By 2024, Max had written or co-written 27 Billboard Top 100 #1 singles. He earned multiple Grammys and Sweden's Polar Music Prize in 2016.
Max Martin, please come up here on stage to receive the prize from the hand of His Majesty the King.
Max once explained that when he builds songs, he wants people to recognize them in 2 seconds. It's a rule that came from Dennis Pop's DJing. If people didn't quickly recognize a song, they'd leave the dance floor.
Pop talked about this, that the song should be, you should be able to recognize after 1 or 2 seconds.
Right. No, we had this philosophy of, because he came from the DJ world to, and to keep people on the floor when you changed the song, you had to, it couldn't be like, what's this? It had to be something, he liked playing songs where they knew exactly what it was.
He focuses more on how the words sound with the melodies, particularly the vowels, than the meaning of the lyrics.
He does put a lot of focus on the vocals, but I think Max hears the vocals like an instrument, and I think that's how you should treat it.
Max wasn't a native English speaker. His demos often start just as him making sounds without any real words.
Extremely detailed when it comes to vocals. And he's a great singer himself. So he'll go in there sometimes and he'll be singing gibberish with no lyrics, and we'll go and try and hash out the lyrics, but his melodies are so incredible and so sophisticated but simple.
When lyrics get added, they're simple. His songs stay under a 4th grade reading level. Pink's So What comes in at a reading level 0.
Because just a lot of times you overwrite. There's only so much information you can, for me it's hard to, if it's more than 3 different parts, maybe 4, but it needs to be, if you, because Prince usually wrote like da na 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 doodly doo, and then he used that the chorus, and he was like, yeah, it's great, let's do it, let's use it a lot. But then obviously you need things to keep it interesting. That's why you put that pre-chorus there, that you go somewhere with the chords and to sort of and then you go back to the thing. And it's like a new thing again.
Max sees it as part of his job to keep artists from doing too much. He takes a less is more approach and makes them feel confident that it's enough.
I think what he is good at is holding me back, actually, because I tend to oversing, and I tend to take everything to church. And the louder I scream, the better it feels in life, singing or not.
And his method for getting there is summed up in his philosophy, dare to suck.
We have this like saying that, daring to suck.
Okay.
That you have to create a super safe environment where even if you and I are writing a song and I come up with like 8 bad ideas, and it has to feel okay, because the 9th might be great. Might be the one that changes everything.
Max said, I just want to create something we love in the room. Whatever happens after that, it's up for the world to decide. It's a quote that stands out after the release of The Life of a Showgirl. Taylor has described Max as a mentor and talked a lot about loving the song she created with him and Shellback.
It's a record I made with my mentor, Max Martin, and Shellback. And the 3 of us have made some of my favorite songs that I've ever done before.
Which ones, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, they were my main collaborators on the Red album. We did We Are Never Getting Back Together, I Knew You Were Trouble, 22, Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, Wildest Dreams.
Oh, hell yes.
When asked about the reaction to the album, Taylor seemed unconcerned.
Yeah, I mean, I welcome the chaos. The rule of show business is if it's the first week of my album release and you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping.
Not that she speaks for him, but it may be a sign that Max has overcome his insecurities and fear of failure. And The Fate of Ophelia is Max's 28th #1 hit.
You saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia.
If you want to hear the stories behind some of the other songs on the album, you can watch my Elizabeth Taylor video here or my George Michael video here. Max has made it his mission to become the mentor he once had.
You sort of tend to see the young people coming as they threatening me, they want my job. Most people take the stance that you should keep them away, but you have sort of letting young people in all the time and sort of collaborating with more and more producers and songwriters.
But I come from that. That's tying the knots here, but that's what Dennis did.
Yeah.
It's in the same. It's from that school, bringing new talent. He loved new talent. That was his thing, and the whole mentor thing that we are doing, and I guess I'm doing now, and I see now we're now on the sort of 3rd and 4th generation of people doing it, and it just makes the whole difference.
First to Dr. Luke, later to Shellback, and dozens of songwriters in the MXM collective. His mentorship has given him fulfillment and purpose. In 2016, he co-founded the Music Rights Awareness Foundation. The organization helps songwriters understand contracts, royalties, and ownership, things that many creatives overlook early in their careers. For Max, it's another form of mentorship, protecting not just songs, but the people who write them. After 3 decades of hit making, he has no social media presence, rarely gives interviews, and prefers to stay in the studio. But through the artists and producers he's guided, his voice continues to shape pop music. From rock band dropout, who was afraid he wasn't good enough, to mentor, whose students now define global music, Max's story comes full circle.
I managed to hide between 2 speakers in a basement for over 20 years. And then you did this. Thanks a lot.
Max Martin shows that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's what leads you there. Becoming a rock star never worked out, and honestly, it never suited him anyway. But that setback pushed him towards what he was actually meant to do.
It's like what he was born to do. And he's so good at it.
And he is one of the best creators I've ever met. He just hears stuff.
Redefining pop music and shaping the soundtracks of our lives.
You know, as soon as Dennis passed away, Max kind of took the torch and just kept moving forward. And he's done nothing but make the most amazing music, I think, of all time, of our generation, of generations to come. Max is a genius. He really, truly is a genius.
Sometimes the thing that didn't go as planned is the thing that gives you purpose. Do you have a favorite Max Martin song? Let me know in the comments. If you want more stories like this, you know how to subscribe.